Hello everyone. I finally got a new camera. Last year I decided to get rid of my Sony A7 A7 II-R. Yes, that's what I had. Really a nice camera, but I decided to jump and go with Nikon, mainly because of this camera here. This came out last year, the Nikon ZF. It is a mirrorless camera it's got all the bells and whistles, all the latest stuff. A little pricey, and they came in several different colors. And I was going back and forth between the blue and then the red. There was also a green, an orange, a tan, and the black. So this is the Bordeaux red, and it finally came, and I haven't played around with it too much, but I wanted to talk about my first impressions. So this is probably the nicest camera I've had. I think it's better than the Nikon. The one thing that really appealed to me for this was a dedicated black and white mode, which you can change with this little dial here. Also, you have the manual settings here, like in old school cameras, and that's how this camera is. That's one of the selling features. They designed it, you know, with all the special color on there, just like a vintage 70s, 60s Nikon. Even with the triangle here, beautiful. And it's a magnesium body. First impressions are it's heavy. It's a heavy camera. It has just a little hand grip here, not much of one, but it is hefty. I mean, it's all metal. The flaps are like maybe a rubbery silicone-y type material there. So we have USB-C, as well as the was it micro HDMI, and then the bottom battery door, SD card slot. The rounded viewfinder is interesting, and I got it with the 40mm special edition lens, so it's supposed to look retro. It looks like a 70s, 80s model. This is the 40mm 1:2, basically 2.0. It's first impressions. It's heavy. I wasn't ready for how heavy it is. And the settings on the top are great. You know, I'm big into just taking and putting it in auto mode, but we have we have M, A, S, and P, so a programmable manual, the S and A for you know, when you switch it around, and then you have the shutter speed here. It goes all the way to 8,000, but you can break it down 1/8,000th of a second, throw it in 1/3 step, which is kind of like auto. Over here is the ISO, so you got up to 51,200 right there. Pretty cool. We have the old school adjustment, so you plus 1, 2, 3, minus 1, 2, 3. There's a little F window there, which is very cool. So if I turn it on, right now it says F10, F11, turn it towards light. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, it drops down. The display is lovely. It's very clear. Of course, you can tilt it around. It will tilt just till there. I usually put mine right out like that. Here's the display. The histogram is nice, empty. There's the display where it tells you, and this is all touchscreen, so you can just touch it. Not on this one. There we go. I can touch them and go back. So the touchscreen is nice. I can see it kind of getting in the way though, but you can always flip the screen if you're just looking through the viewfinder. Viewfinder is huge. When I look through it, it's like it fills your whole eye up with tons of information, almost to the point of you have to look around inside of it, which was another thing. Hit back display. Look at all the stuff on the screen. Of course, most cameras now, they have a lot of stuff on the screen. So here's the ISO, how it's changing. And on this screen, you tap it to focus and take a picture. I'm going to go ahead and hit display again. And here's play. Here's one of the black and white photos I took. 6048 by 4032 pixels. It calls it FX. So whenever I see that FX, and it just power save my display until I turn it back on. I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera off just because there's a switch for black and white, color and video, but that FX display, that means there's an effect. So the black and white on this, you know, if you want to take color photos and change them to black and white, that's the optimal thing to do because of all the color information. There's 3 modes to take. I believe there's 3 modes of black and white on here, so you can change between them and play around with it. It's kind of gimmicky, but I kind of like it too. I'm kind of on the fence about it. Now that I have it in my hand, I'm playing around with it. We have the dial there for changing the setting. This will lock if it's an auto, and if it's not an auto, it will not lock. So pushing that down. These dials are made out of brass. So from all the reviews I've seen, if the black paint wears off, it will turn to a golden color underneath the brass, and people really like that. So that also adds to the weight. Right now I haven't put my my special strap on. I'm probably going to use my Peak strap. But this is the camera. It is, wow. I think that my biggest thing was it's heavy. It's definitely heavier than the Sony I had. Lovely. This can't be leather. I'm sure it's plastic. They never said it was leather. This is the Bordeaux red, but it wraps around there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then underneath 5 panels of this special color. So if you get one of the special colors, some of them are still not in stock. This one just came in stock. So it's the black is the standard one, and that one came back in stock in January. I think this one and the blue one are now in stock. The green is not in stock yet. Who knows when it will be in stock. There's the shoe. I haven't removed this yet. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, little smart shoe, little thing in there. They made one other lens in this retro style. I believe that was the 70? Oh, the 28. They did a 28 millimeter lens in this special, like these little pyramids. Those are the 2 SE. When you look them up, they'll say, look, SE, I mean special edition. But this camera is definitely something. These shiny parts are pretty cool. That's a throwback to the retro style lens release. What is this? This is kind of odd. Let me see what this does. Normally that would be, in old school, it would be a timer, and let's see, what does it do? I'm going to change it back into color mode. I know, it's a custom button, so you can make that do what you want. Custom button. Right now it's not defined. There's the record button for the video. You can screw a remote, old school remote plunger in there, which is pretty cool. The little window on top with the little F, that is pretty cool. I have read that the body is not as waterproof as you might think. So this little window here can actually get moisture in it. And the viewfinder as well, but it didn't affect anything, so that's kind of scary. But I try not to take my cameras out in the rain anyway. Their lenses, most all Nikon and Sony lenses that I've found are fairly watertight and dust proof. You know, you can't get dust in there, so they do a really good job. I'm going to go ahead and release this thing so we can see the sensor, beautiful sensor there. Right there, it's flat. There's the focal plane right there, and that lines up with, you know, where the point is, where it's actually capturing the image. I do have another lens I bought for this. I bought a 85mm lens, not in the, they didn't make it in the special edition. One thing I have found out is that compared to even 4 years ago, mirrorless lenses have really increased in price. They cost more than the camera in most cases. So if you want a nice, the prime lenses are pretty decent. There's different levels of prime lenses, but usually it's based on the number of glass elements inside of them. But it's a scary, I mean, lenses are almost an investment now because of, I mean, they're just so expensive and expensive to make, and I guess, you know, it is what it is. I mean, there are some places you can rent lenses from, but I think it's best just to stick with, you know, maybe 2 or 3 lenses you like. I'm a great advocate for prime. 50s and 100s are great. 85, great. 50 is an excellent portrait, everything. For me, for photographing architecture, 100 millimeters is really decent for street photography and architecture. But something like a 70 to 200 or 70 to 300 is, you kind of need that too, that kind of, if you really want to take like nature pictures, that's really important, that getting that zoom in there. And some of them are cheaper than others. Some of them, it seems like the longer and the bigger they are, the more expensive they are, of course, because of the material. But I just want to share my first impressions with this camera. Should open up a little battery thing. There's the battery. People have said this is floppy and flimsy. Seems to lock pretty well. There's no like safety lock on there, but it does seem to lock fairly well. Anyway, there we go. There's my new purchase, my Nikon ZF. I sold all my Sony lenses, and because I had to sell everything basically to get this, and 2 lenses. And I did get a flash too, so I got the standard Nikon flash. They haven't, you know, the basic one, which is over in the room where else I'd get it. So anyway, that's my my update for my camera stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching.